We are here to deliver a special episode for you today about the music and how you say Iron Maiden and Judas Priest.
All right. I got my notes.
Okay.
Now, Sanctuary and Iron Maiden, I didn't take as many notes on because I was kind of pressed for time. So
yeah, it's all good.
I listened to it, but
Sanctuary from the lore.
But the way I did it is the first time I listened to them back to back, I listened to Maiden first and
one.
And then
Yeah,
today I did Priest first and then Maiden second.
I did that.
A track listing issue, but we figured it out.
Oh yeah, it was kind of mixed around. I did Maiden Priest, and then I listened to one whole album and then one whole album. So
it's a good way to do it.
Yeah,
I try to do track and then track, but that's too much. I'd rather just listen to one album and then take notes, listen to the other, and take notes.
And you kind of, but the problem is the Priest. We'll get into it, but the Priest stuff we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah. So the Battle of 1980, but this is Maiden's debut album, and this is Priest's fifth studio album.
Yes, because they did Far from the East or whatever.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it's
something
called?
like that.
Something like that.
Something in the rockin' in the East, or something about rockin'. Not to be confused with Rock and Rolla, their debut. Because my original thought was we do debut album versus debut album, but it's two totally different sounds. So it's not really, and even this is kind of two different sounds.
It is. It's weird.
After listening to it like that, it is two different sounds. So anyways.
Before we get into it, I have one note that I just wanted to make.
Go ahead.
So before Priest records British Steel, they're opening for Kiss on the Dynasty Tour, 79.
Oh, really?
The following year in 80, after Iron Maiden's debut, they opened for Kiss in Europe on the Unmasked Tour.
Maiden did.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So it's like a kind of a sandwich in between. So Kiss has a little bit of a they're together.
They gave them both a little rub ski.
Yeah. Took them out on their first big tours.
And so here's the thing about this, comparing, being that this is the fifth Priest studio album, they're already known. Priest is known at this point.
British Steel is what solidifies them though, as metal gods.
Whereas Maiden is 2 albums away from becoming metal god, 2 and 3, and just 2 albums away from becoming like, holy shit, these guys are something.
Right.
And that's also, there's many factors in that, but,
which is when I believe Maiden opens for Priest in 82, 83, right? Something like that.
Okay.
Because my dad saw them together at Madison Square Garden, and Maiden opened and Priest was the headliner, which makes sense because they were already, upper echelon.
Yeah, and I always thought part of the etiquette for touring was the main act is usually a recent album release. That's part of it, maybe more now. I don't know how it was back then, but yeah.
Then I think it's more
fame.
Yeah, whoever's had the biggest, hits.
Fame.
Because even with like hair bands in that time, it was like you would get, Rat and Bon Jovi together. Bon Jovi would open because they hadn't quite hit or they were hitting.
Yeah.
And then like the first half of the tour, they would open and then they'd headline like almost basically a second leg of the tour. And then they'd have like somebody coming up open for them.
Okay. So it was the process was a little different back in the day.
Right.
Whereas now it's like, yeah, it seems to be album release, because I've seen some bands
album release or whoever's like hitting on radio.
Yeah, because I've seen shows where the main act, I'm like, that's weird that they're opening for this band, but whatever. That's cool.
Like, I guess this summer Megadeth's opening for Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah, that's
and
weird.
I think that's
I don't think that's okay.
I don't agree with that at all. Because, and I can't believe Dave agrees with that, but
He's probably getting a good payday out of it, but I mean, because they're doing like stadiums and shit, but still, I think they're going to be at the Amp. That's who's with them. Is fine. Good, so I can watch Megadeth and then leave. Cool.
Just bounce.
Yeah.
Fuck Finger Death Punch. Not a fan.
I mean, like, cool for them for getting radio popular. It's just that's not my bag, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's all. Like, they got some cool songs. Their work is cool, but it's all, you know, it's like, I went to war and then I came back, you know. Like,
the Toby Keith of metal.
The Toby Keith of metal, for sure. Yeah, it is.
All right.
Anyways, they're talented, whatever. All right, Maiden. You're going to start with Maiden, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're kind of going.
Yeah, back and forth.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so, yeah. So I just want to say this, too, before we start. Obviously, you have, like, you have to lean towards Maiden because that's your band. Are you trying to go in open-minded, though?
I'm going in 100% open-minded.
Okay.
See, also, here's the thing, too. Although I'm a massive Maiden fan and I'm a fan of like all this era of metal and stuff, I'm not well educated on all of Priest stuff. I know all the hits, I know the albums, the names and stuff of the big ones, but I'm not super, like, I haven't heard their whole catalog. Okay. So, and I need to do that. So this is going to make me do that. But anyways, yeah. And then also keep in mind, Maiden's first 2 albums is Paul Di'Anno on vocals. Right. As well as the drummer. It's not Nico yet till the 3rd album. Clive Burr. Yeah. He's the first 3 albums. And then I think some of the first album tracks were actually written by, God, the guitarist's name is
Dave Murray.
Not Dave Murray. Well, he was in the band, I think.
Yeah. He plays lead on this one. Oh, it's the guy that right after the album they kick him out.
Yeah, he was gone right afterwards. Yeah, his name.
They had to figure something out because they were going on tour with Kiss, which is another reason why I brought that up. Is because the guitarist was on the outskis. Yeah, in between the album and the tour.
God, what is his name? It's gonna drive me crazy. I have to.
Look it up.
I have to check this out
because I just saw it and I already can't remember.
Let's check this out.
Because he's the rhythm guitarist.
Name, yes, before Adrian Smith comes in. Yeah. All right. Where is it?
Fucking lineup changes.
Dennis Stratton.
Yeah, that's it.
He's one of many. So this Maiden was formed in like 1970 by Steve Harris. They wrote all these tracks throughout a decade, but they finally got it here. Anyways, let's start the albums. Okay. Prowler opens up Iron Maiden's debut album, and the original 1980 release. We're going off that. The 1980 releases of both albums because there's been remasters and changes. Prowler opens up Maiden's debut album, 1980 album, and Priest's 1980 album. Their 5th studio album is opened up with Breaking the Law. So you got a single on one side. Mm-hmm. And let me go to
Maiden's okay, you go Prowler, your notes on Prowler. I'll do my notes and then we'll do Breaking the Law and then we'll decide a winner. Okay.
So where's my 3rd piece of paper? Damn it. Here it is.
Are you keeping up with wieners?
I will. Yes.
Okay. Because this is very important because the winner goes on to possibly get entered into the Hall of Fame.
Yes. So Prowler, I mean, I just kind of go off the cuff on this, but
sure.
Obviously it's both of these tracks are great openers for the albums. Prowler, I always thought it was a really cool song because it's got that wow, 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 wow. I fucking love that riff. Yeah. And it was in a skate video one time. I can't remember the skate video it was in. Never been able to find it again, but I always was like, that's cool. That makes the song that much more cool that somebody skated to it. But the lyrics kind of seem like a perv, like prowling the streets and like he's a weirdo. He's in the bushes wanting to show his dick to somebody.
My notes are like exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, like it's just kind of weird vocals. And another thing to keep in mind here too, throughout these whole albums, I'm gonna say it every track probably. Yep. With Paul Di'Anno on vocals with Maiden, they had a lot it's 1980 heavy metal, but it's got this punk influence to it because Diano is a very like punk-esque guy. He dressed like it on stage. I mean, he dressed like a Sex Pistol on stage. He acted like a Sex Pistol on stage. Yeah, so it's very punk-ish. You hear it in all of the songs, whereas Judas Priest, British Steel, it's very like rock and roll derivative. And like both of these are the, what do they call it? The new wave of British heavy metal, because that was a whole fucking thing throughout the 70s and 80s.
Yep.
Because it was huge. So anyways, Prowler, it's just a cool fucking opener, man. I think it's a song that they should play more live because it's just a dope ass song. And I think it gets, back then it didn't get overlooked because it was just part of their set, but now it's like they have such a big catalog, they don't play it as much.
Right.
So that's my opinion on Prowler. I love the song.
All right. And my notes are pretty simple to the point. Great production, heavy drums, melodic guitars, thick bass. And here's the pervy part. Could have been a Gene song on Rock and Roll Over Love Gun.
Yeah.
I just said it nicer than
flat
out saying he sounds like a fucking pervert, but he does.
Everything you said there too pertains to the whole album, because for a 1980 album, production is amazing. Maiden's always got good
and I
production.
guess the producer Will Malone, I think is his name.
It was something like that.
And I guess they had problems with him, and basically he just was like checked out. He didn't really want to produce the record, so they ended up doing most of it themselves. I'm assuming Steve Harris did most of the production work.
Well, because after this, Martin Birch takes over for like a good chunk of their albums.
Right.
He was very much one of their
Okay, so Breaking the Law, you kind of touched on it.
This is the only album to feature Dennis Stratton on guitar too, by the way. Yeah, Breaking the Law. So this is a Priest song that obviously I've known forever because it's a a radio hit.
Beavis and Butthead, we were both big into, so
that's on the notes too.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Breaking the Law, just the because they really liked it. So where's that at? Yeah, this one's all mixed up here. Law. Oh, I have it. Law. Classic Priest song, Beavis and Butthead. I love the bridge in this song where it slows down. All that. That's cool shit. So yeah, man. I mean, the harmonies, the melodies, not harmonies, but the melodies between guitars and bass and just everything just fits perfect for this to be a fucking single. It's a great song, and it's the reason it's at the end of their set on tour. I mean, there's many of their songs that can be the last song. I don't know what they like I said, I'm not
Living After Midnight closes now.
It closes now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, Priest, I don't know. It's a great song,
Okay, so my notes are again simple to the point. Classic metal rock power pop. It's not
power pop.
It's not. I feel like I kind of like somehow came up with that term. I don't think I did, but I want to believe I did.
I think Living After Midnight is the perfect power pop song. Yeah.
And that's, they kind of go hand in hand because they were both radio quasi hits. I guess Midnight would have been more of a hit, but I mean, this was, there was a video for Breaking the Law, very like, groundbreaking for like metal in videos. But again, great production on the whole record. Same with Maiden, and the dueling guitars, KK and Glenn Tipton, are just fucking
awesome.
And I have it in my notes a lot, and like you said, you'll say a lot of the same thing for each song. But KK Downing just shreds. But Glenn Tipton too, he has just a sound that's to him, and that's how you can tell who's doing the solo on each song. And sometimes they go back and forth
throughout the whole catalog, and same with Maiden. You can tell who's Dave. You can tell it's Dave Murray. You can tell it's Adrian Smith, and you can kind of tell now what Yannick Gurras is.
Yeah,
you can tell everybody's unique solo style.
That's what's gonna make this tough. Because because Breaking the Law, I mean, it's a classic, so that's tough to not give it the point for that.
Yeah,
but Prowler's kind of edgy.
Prowler is edgy, and it's different from. These are two aggressive songs, but one of them is more fit for radio, whereas the other one's more fit for like you hear it at the concert, and like, oh fuck yeah, they're playing Prowler,
Right.
you know, like this is cool.
Guys like us, they were like, all right, we're like, play something different.
Mm-hmm.
Like to get like an album track is just like that's what makes my concert experience. But as far as the album goes, I'm giving the edge to Breaking the Law just because it's such a fucking classic.
And I'm with you on that.
And like you said, that breakdown.
Yeah. I have to give it as well to Breaking the Law just because it's essential Priest.
Yeah.
And Prowler is one of those underrated tracks from Maiden that just kind of takes the back seat and it's okay with it.
And there's better songs on the album than
of course. There's
Breaking the Law, that's one of like it grabs you.
Yeah, that's one of the main songs on the album.
Right.
So yeah, that doesn't
Okay, anyways. So chalk that up. We're both in agreement.
So we gotta give it to the lore. Breaking the Law. Winner, chicken dinner. All right, and then we got Remember Tomorrow.
Oh wait. Is it okay? Yeah. I forgot to swap it back. Okay, yeah, you're right. Remember Tomorrow.
Are you fucking with me?
No. Sanctuary's in between. It's 7th on the track list.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember Tomorrow versus Rapid Fire.
Okay.
So these are kind of two different songs. Style. Well, it's different stylistically, both every way you go. But Remember Tomorrow is that slow with the come up, and then the slow with the come up. And Rapid Fire is rapid fire. It's just, it's a Priest song. Another thing you'll hear with the whole album with Priest is it's a kick on the 1 and 3, and it's a snare on the 2 and the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the whole album, which drum wise, I think Maiden's always been. Priest has got some good drum tracks, throughout, but Maiden's all like Nico and even Clive Burr, like they're just killer drummers, and you can't, they're like the Neil Pearts of new wave of British heavy metal.
Priest is it's a continuation. Save one song. There's only one song, and I'll get to it, but like it's a continuation, right?
Yeah.
Where just Maiden, it's like, and it's kind of different because the way you listen to it, whichever track order you go with, and I feel like this is probably the best way to go because it makes it more flowing. The Maiden, record.
Yeah, you get your up and down and kind of just different stuff.
Do you have anything else on Remember Tomorrow?
It's slower, but the chorus is awesome. I love how the chorus is. It kind of builds up, and then it's I fucking love that chorus. It's the iconic Maiden tempo change halfway through the song. They always have that mid-song
Chariots of Fire.
Yeah, exactly. It picks up at the halfway mark because Maiden has never been considered really like nobody puts them in like the prog category, but they have so many elements of progressive. This
album
is
it gave me like Rush vibes sometimes,
dude. Like punk, progressive, British heavy metal.
It's kind of all over the place.
It is,
but it's good.
But it's morphed to. It's like this bastard child of all these genres just morphed together, and that's why it's what makes it iconic in retrospect. Obviously, at the time, it was not near as popular as British Steel,
right?
But now, it's kind
going back and, my notes for Remember Tomorrow, which is a little more outside of the box as usual with my just like getting to the point. Paul's vocals are incredible. This song is like almost gives me like that first Skid Row record. He just kind of sounds like Sebastian Bach a little bit, which I guess in turn Sebastian Bach actually sounds like him.
Yeah. Whatever.
Great rhythm section. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Song goes from the 3 to a 9 once it gets to the solo. Steve Harris is possibly the most underrated bassist of all time. Wow. I mean,
yeah. I think he's getting his recognition
now. But
back then people just didn't realize like.
And even like when I was
plays with his fingers, dude.
Yeah. When I was a teenager, they didn't talk about him. I mean, maybe in like Metal Edge or something, but
yeah, people who understood.
Not in like, guitar player or anything like that. They weren't really blowing him.
Yeah. Him and you know, it's like Cliff Burton was the guy they talked about
Mhm.
in the 80s. Rightfully so.
Right.
Because that fucking guy could just destroy some bass strings with his fingers. But
Mhm.
so could Steve Harris. So, anyways.
And then rapid fire. What do you have for that?
Great opener. No, never mind. That was when it was the
When
first
it
track.
was the opener.
Picks up mid-song, same tempo, but a different riff.
Mhm.
Feels a little faster because it is. I went back and counted it because it felt faster, and I don't recall now because some of these riffs ran together. Some of the
Yeah.
Priest riffs run together for me. Maiden's album, it's not a bias thing. Maybe it is, but the Maiden out like everything's different for
Yeah.
the most part. The Priest album, it's a lot like you said. It's a continuation. It's kind of the same keys, same riff-ish style, same tempos. The drums, but it's good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It was fine. Yeah, same tempo, different riff,
Mhm.
feels a little faster, but you know, like I said, that's mostly the whole album. It's a great song. I like Rapid Fire. I believe this is one I have heard in the past, and just kind of it's that Priest sound, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I have for rapid fire definitely more of a classic British heavy metal vibe than the hits. Like you said though, it's that same thing. So as far as this one goes, picking, I'm giving the edge to Remember Tomorrow.
I'm good with Remember Tomorrow. It's really Rapid Fire is cool, but I can find 50 other Priest songs that are just like it.
It's
And
good.
It's not a knock on Priest.
Yeah, it's just good, but it's not. You don't have to have it.
No, you don't have to have it. Remember Tomorrow, I think, is a great, even a midsection in a set.
Mhm.
But it's that solo, dude. That riff, I love it.
Yeah.
So we'll get to Remember Tomorrow. Cool. Up next we get Running Free versus Metal Gods. Bow now. Running Free. So there's that song that plays at like football games and shit. It's like bow, wow. You know what I'm talking about? Da 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 da. Anyways,
rock and roll too.
Yeah, I used to always hear that at games and shit, and I'd be like, "Running free." Oh, it's not Running Free. Never mind. Yeah. I always heard it at football games and shit. And anyways, Running Free, that drum line, that bass riff was one of the first ones I ever learned when I picked up a bass because I immediately was like, I gotta be Steve Harris, and then I was like, this is fucking hard, so I'm gonna play the easy riffs like Killers and Running Free.
I give up. Fuck it.
Yeah. And I played it with a pick too. So yeah, one of my first bass lines. Very, very punk-esque lyrics because it's about a kid just breaking free, just 16, pickup truck, out of money, out of luck, got no place to call my own. Yeah, I'm running free, I'm running free. So it's a cool song, man. Don't need to say much about it. It's early Maiden, and I think this feels like a 70s Maiden song. If there was one that's just rock and roll punk with an edge of metal.
I just love it because like I'm getting ready to say mine, and it's like it's just all going together.
Yeah.
My notes are holy shit, Steve Harris bass, Thin Lizzy, Boston,
Ooh.
golden earring, Radar
Thin
Love
Lizzy.
kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
You know? Heavy drums, melodic, solid fucking track.
Yeah.
That's what I have. But
Red iPhone. Yeah. Metal Gods. Okay, gimmicky 80s song. Gimmicky 80s rock song. Like a song you would sing in a metal church. Laser beaming hearts, one of the lyrics. And singing about kind of incognito metalheads. Like you don't need to like just like come out and say it like you're
be yourself. Yeah,
just be yourself. And then it's kind of that like opera-ish metal gods down now. It's do they play this on their shows?
I would think so.
It seems like it would be kind of a pretty good concert song because the crowd could get in on that Metal Gods part.
A nice little sing along, easy, just to kind of like you said, gimmicky.
Yeah, very 80s. Very 80s gimmicky right here. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I have somewhat heavy tune, more of a chug-a-lug than a fast metal ripper.
Yeah, definitely more of a chug-a-lug than a yeah. Kind of like one different sounding songs, I guess you could say.
But if I'm picking, I'm giving the edge again to Maiden, Running Free.
I think I have to. And I'm not just trying to follow what you're doing. I'm sure we'll disagree somewhere in here, but
that's fine.
Running Free, man, it was like I listened to this song a lot when I first found Maiden because I really just thought it was a cool song. It's awesome when they play it live. Anytime they play a Paul Di'Anno song live with Bruce on vocals, I'm all about it because I'm like, I always want to hear him sing the Paul songs.
Mhm.
Like Killers, that's a total Paul song. But when Bruce does the oh, you know, that's it's cool. So yeah, I'm all about Running Free. That drum and bass line, like that's just fucking cool. Metal Gods is just a little too gimmicky for me.
Yeah,
like it's kind of cheesy. It's kind of cringe in a way.
Cringy.
It's a cool song. And anytime I say anything about this Judas Priest album, like it sounds the same, whatever, I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just that's just Priest, man. That's just they write a lot of songs.
But like if you heard it at a concert, you'd be like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. I'd be like, man, oh God. You know, I'd be in on it. So whatever. It's a cool song, but Running Free is better.
Yep.
So
Mark it.
And then we get Phantom of the Opera versus
I have a lot of notes for this song.
It's rightfully so. Phantom of the Opera versus Grinder. Grinder is the Judas Priest song.
Not the app.
Not the I think I was going with that, but then I spaced out. This is like Rob Halford laid the groundwork for Grinder.
He did. I think that's where they got it, honestly.
Yeah, I think so. They're like, well, this guy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
not if there's anything wrong with that.
Phantom of the Opera is kind of one of the first songs on the album that you really hear the prog influence.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're like there's some changes that happen throughout this song that are like that. It's like almost an instrumental, which it's followed by an instrumental because there's vocals in it, but a lot of it, like the instruments, just tell the story. And that opening part, actually, I learned that on bass. I have to play it with a pick, but that's a fun one to play on bass. This Phantom of the Opera is just kind of a, how do you describe it? Like it's just like it's kind of just perfect. It's just perfect. It's a great song.
My turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Shred opening, drums kick, excellent vocals. Phantom as a metal song is a match made in heaven or hell. Cool progressive breakdown. There's that word. Awesome harmonies on Don't You Stray. That harmony there, fucking cool. I love that. And different for them. Solo from Murray stands out. Very melodic. Cool Holy Diver breakdown into another melodic guitar solo.
I like how you say it's very different for them because we're 4 songs in, and this is again like every song up to this point have been different.
Because, well, like you said earlier, they had 10 years to write their first record. Yeah. And that's what every band always says. You have, 5 to 10 years to write your first record. Mm-hmm. You've got 3-4 months to write your second. That's why usually, not Maiden's, but usually most bands' second records are some of the worst.
Not as good as their
debut or their third.
Because they get that steam.
Yep.
Grinder. Was it Looking for Meat or something? What does he say?
Looking for meat. Yeah.
Looking for meat. Yeah. Yeah. Grinder's a cool fucking song.
It is a cool song.
I gotta say. I can pretty much just come out and say it early on. Phantom of the Opera it wins for me just because of the song is just it's very well constructed.
It's the clear winner.
Yeah.
I'll just give mine real quick.
Yeah.
Heavy intro, grooving bass line, Glenn Tipton with a great solo. Excellent sustain on the guitar in between this, or from the solo into the next verse.
Yeah. I did. Yeah, that's cool.
Which kind of goes with Halford's voice.
And that's one of their things too,
Yeah.
man, is just matching those up like that very well. So yeah, I mean, Grinder's one that I would be excited. Like if I saw Priest live, I'd be like, man, I hope they play Grinder. Like it's a cool fucking song.
Yeah.
It's a really good one, but it's a hard matchup. This is like this is Breaking the Law versus, I don't know, Strange World.
Right.
Breaking the Law wins. Breaking the Law versus Prowler. Breaking the Law wins.
Yeah, it's all about your track listing, and that's why I wanted to make sure we were on the same page with what we wanted to do. That way there was a clear winner, because sometimes when you switch the way an album is, and that might be why they did it on the reissues, is because they're like, hey, this is a better order. But I feel like it's more fair to do it the way that they originally intended it to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you. Phantom wins landslide.
Grinder's awesome,
it's a cool song, but it's not.
It's got a hard opponent. Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, opinion kind of keeps up on the next one, but Transylvania versus United. Transylvania is an instrumental,
which hurts it, honestly. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, sure. You can take points away for that, but it is a fantastic instrumental.
It is.
It's one that they played early on, like early shows, but not a lot after. Like once Bruce came around, Transylvania was in there sometimes, but not like, because at that point they had racked up so many popular songs. Like you had, I think, Running Free and maybe Charlotte the Harlot were the singles, I believe, off this album. And no, Running Free and Sanctuary. Actually, Charlotte the Harlot, I'm thinking of something else.
Which is weird, because on the UK version, Sanctuary is not even on it.
Yeah.
Or the non-North American release.
Yeah, it's odd. You actually had to teach me that one. I kind of forgot about that. But yeah, Transylvania's cool, man. Again, like it kind of just follows Phantom of the Opera. Kind of keeps that prog-ish type stuff up because it's instrumental, so you kind of have to go some direction.
Yeah, from Phantom to Transylvania to Strange World, they kind of all just like blend in.
Yeah.
It's weird how it works, but it's really cool.
Yeah, it's like part 1, part 2, part 3.
Right. Transylvania, my notes, powerful shredding guitar, again, rhythm section, so tight. Incredible production, especially for 1980. As a listener, it's great. Track by track, being an instrumental only hurts it. But we'll go to United.
Just to play a rock riff. I'm gonna remind myself of that riff real quick, because I listened to this album so many times and they are very similar that I kind of forgot.
I'll give my notes while you're listening.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
We Will Rock You type clappy drum intro. Excellent harmony, very rock anthem. Kind of reminds me of God Gave Rock and Roll to You a little bit.
Yeah,
it is. Not so much the trading off vocals, obviously, but just the vibe. Cool track, but possibly the weakest track on the record, which is full of great tracks, not necessarily a skip track, but weak overall.
Yeah.
I see where I'm. So like this one is like one of the good head-to-heads where you kind of have to like sit there and like, which one's the better track?
Yeah, because it's again, for me, it's like the whole Metal Gods thing. It's like United.
It's just very, it's kitschy.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's not my shtick with music.
And like I said, it's the weakest track on an album full of really good.
Yeah, ban.
So again,
yeah,
I'm going Maiden with this, even though it's an instrumental.
Yeah,
but it's a good instrumental, like you said.
Yeah, it is. It's
not just a filler. It's a reason. There's a reason why it's there.
Like they constructed the song and they were like, they were like, let's just have a fucking instrumental. And
in the middle of the album.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, Transylvania is great. And it also plays in the early days part 1 DVD menu, so I heard it a lot. Dan, 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 dan. Like I love that. That little bell. Ding, 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 ding. It's fucking cool. It's very like bouncy.
Yeah.
So yeah, and United is just definitely my least favorite track on the red, white, and blue one. I'm not really into either. But
And I don't count that though, because that's a bonus track.
Oh, right. That's not even on this list. Yeah, perfect. Cool. Okay.
All right. So mark it.
Yeah.
Transylvania.
Transylvania. All right.
So what do we got?
On.
We got 3-1, right?
We got 4-1. Remember, Running, Phantom, and Transylvania 2 Breaking the Law. 4-1. Okay. Strange World versus where are we at? Living After Midnight. Okay.
Yes.
This is a clear winner. It's Living After Midnight. Let's just be real here. For me.
Let me see. Do you have notes?
I have minimal notes on
Strange
this
World.
one. Yeah, Strange
notes?
World.
What's your notes?
Slower song, a song about living in a weird world or daydreaming or something like that. Maiden can do it all. That's another one of my notes too, is they can kind of they can turn chicken salad into chicken shit, or chicken shit into chicken salad, vice versa.
Yeah, either way, any way you slice it.
Just a slower paced song, and it's good at this point in the record because you've been rocking the fuck out. Even the early slow song is just kind of like it's slow, picks up. Strange World just kind of just kind of slow, just like chill, and like all the instruments really shine in it. The bass especially, because Steve Harris shines everywhere he fucking goes. But yeah, it's, just a cool little slowdown. And next time we do this, I'll have better words than cool and good. I just didn't take the best notes, but
I use a lot of perfect and awesome and cool too.
Yeah. So anyways, go ahead with your
Strange World. I got a really big Nothing Else Matters feels from the intro. Guitar's great, solid drumming, perfect tempo. Again, Paul's vocals are flawless, especially on this track. I really liked his vocals on it. Solo is very brooding yet somber, which I guess is kind of the same vibe.
Yeah.
Makes you close your eyes. You feel it more than you hear it. This song.
That's a great way to put that. Yeah.
Which is a major plus, and the ending is fucking incredible. I love the ending of the song.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Really cool. It's always been one of those Maiden songs that kind of did just stay in the back seat. Strange World's not one that was ever really like up in your face, like check out Strange World. Like it's not. It's just kind of towards the end of the album. It made the cut. Whatever type thing. It's a great song. It is, if that's what you're looking for here. But when you put it up against Living After Midnight, which is it's a gimmicky party song, but it fits the 80s. It's it made it to the radio and made it to
video
everything. It's like you said, it's the end of their set.
Wild video. It's strange.
Yeah.
I have definitely the most commercial sounding Priest song. Don't think I would necessarily classify it as a metal song, in quotations for those listening. Still closing the sets with this. The original Rockers theme, when they were the Midnight Rockers in AWA. They used Living After Midnight.
The iconic solo too. That's a very well-known solo.
Yeah.
People
just overall that song, I feel like this is kind of Priest rock and roll night.
Totally.
In a way, because
totally.
it's very kitschy, it's very pop, it's radio rock anthem type song.
Yeah. This was
something you're gonna know when it hits.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
catchy.
I mean, even for me being the Maiden fan, as much as I like Strange World, and it's one that I probably glanced over it once in this playthrough. It's a song that even I've listened to their catalog a lot, but it's not one that I've heard a ton just because it's just kind of there, it's almost like
it's that flowing from Phantom to Strange World that it kind of, I could see where you would lose it in the shuffle.
Yeah, but it fits where it is on the album. It's a great song, but I, by default, kind of have to give it to Living After Midnight, because if I pick Strange World, that's just like this blowing Maiden
Yeah.
Because Living After Midnight is a great song and it's on the radio for a reason. And
It's still on the
it's
radio for a reason.
Yeah. It's on Pandora every 5 minutes.
Yep.
So no matter what station you listen to. So it is what it
to
is.
Fucking
for a
Toby
reason.
Keith. And here comes Living After Midnight.
So me personally is Living After Midnight.
I'm the same. And I really like, I mean, I had a ton of notes for it. I loved it.
Yeah. Strange World's awesome. But
Living After Midnight just, I mean, it's a killer song.
Just kind of Twilight Zone-ish.
Yeah.
You know, and the guitar.
It's like I said, it's like very Nothing Else Matters, almost kind of one-ish.
Yeah.
I could see where Metallica gets a Maiden influence.
Because they are heavily influenced by them. Yeah. Okay.
So
Sanctuary.
So 4-2 now.
4-2, yes.
And we've got 2 songs left. So Priest better step it the fuck up.
Yeah. Which okay. Sanctuary. Yeah. Sanctuary.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We have 3 songs. I forgot Sanctuary's here. God damn it. This fucking order shit.
I confused myself because I had some notes here, but yeah, Sanctuary versus what is it? You don't have to be old to know shit or something.
Yeah.
What's the name of the song?
You don't have to be old.
You don't have to be old to be wise.
Wise, yeah.
So here we go. Kind of a similar riff to the rest of them.
It's almost got kind of a Cold Gin vibe to it.
Ooh, yeah, it does.
Hear it?
Yeah. It's that era, man. Sanctuary only on this original release in UK.
But it was a single.
Or
US
only. Yes, this was one of the singles. Also, let me check something while we're on here. It's over here. Oh, here we go. Women in Uniform. This is a forgotten Maiden song too, because it was only a single. This was 1980. So, or no, 81, sorry. So this would have been the Killers era. Also available from the Iron Maiden on record, Women in Uniform and Invasion. Yeah, this was, as much as a fan as I am, I should know when it came. It was in that time period. I think it was between I don't think it made the cut to this first album, and then the single was sometime.
So it was technically after the original UK release, or the European release.
I believe so.
And then for the US, because I mean, being a band from the UK, I feel like they would, and it being their debut, I'm sure it released there earlier. And I think I saw that on Wikipedia that it actually, I think it released there in like February.
Yeah.
And then in America was it March or April?
Where I'm fact checking it right now. So this is some other band called Skyhooks. Oh, Iron Maiden covered it. They did their own version of this. So actually, I never knew this. The song "Women in Uniform" is by a band called Skyhooks. It's a glam rock band. It was released in February 1978, but Maiden covered it. And the single came out October 27th, 1980. And the B-side to the single back then, it looks like the original 7-inch is Invasion, Phantom of the Opera Live, and Drifter Live. Drifter is also I think that's either a cover or I know it's on B-sides.
Yeah. What about Sanctuary though? What was the release?
So let's go to that real quick. Oh, that's on this page. Let's go to Sanctuary. Sanctuary's single was released May 23rd, 1980. It was recorded January 1980. Prowler is on the A side, the Dutch 12-inch only version, and then the B side is Drifter Live, and I've got the Fire by Montrose cover live.
Oh yeah, they do a cover live, which came out on the reissue as well, not the US version like the debut US, but the reissue that came out in 95.
And this album was recorded. It says recorded December 1979, but I think that's just kind of like.
But it came out February, right?
April 14th, 1980.
Okay, and when did the single for Sanctuary come out again?
That was May, I believe.
Okay, so that's why it
May
missed
23rd.
That's
Yeah.
why it missed the UK
Yeah.
original. Okay, that makes sense then. All right.
Cool. British Steel. I'm gonna look that up real quick just so I have the dates on that correct. April 14th, 1980. Wait a second. April 14th, 1980. These albums were released on the same day.
Really?
Yeah. Holy shit.
Weird.
April 14th, 1980. April 14th, 1980. British Steel was recorded December 79 to February 1980. And it says the first Maiden album was December 1979, but I think
Yeah, they recorded it
throughout the 80s.
after when they got off the Dynasty tour. Because then after Priest left, a band called New England opened for Kiss on the rest of the Dynasty tour.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, and man, if I was 14 years old and we were doing this, I could tell you every stupid little fact about it, but I've aged 15 years since then, so I just don't remember all these little things. So
and I have one quick note on Sanctuary, because like I said, it was one of the last songs I did because it was
forgotten.
trying to figure out the track order. But then I was like, wait, there's only 8. So there's something fucked up because I remember reading 9. So my note was heavy at bluesy, like if Zeppelin was more metal. That's what that song reminds me of.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
And then
for
you
Sanctuary.
don't have to be old to be wise. My notes, very Nazareth Foghat sounding song. Ian Hill shines on bass while it's covered up by Rob's voice. That bass really kicks.
Okay, I like the ban for Sanctuary, and then you got your dan or whatever
It's just
it is.
it's just like I said, it gets covered up by Rob's voice, but it's just there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you really listen to it with a good set of speakers or good headphones, you know?
Yeah, and let's go to this one again here. Bam, bam. Yep.
What's your verdict?
It's a tough one for me because I want to just give it to Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do really like Sanctuary.
It's a good song.
I forgot about it. Sanctuary from the law, or whatever he says. Something Sanctuary from the law. Something like that. Man, I almost want to just give it to Priest just because like
it's a pretty cool track.
It is a cool track. And I remember specifically driving to Bentonville while I was listening to this album. And I was like, this one's not bad. And I looked at my phone and said, you don't have to be old to be wise. I was like, cool title too, because there's a lot of old people that think because you're young, you don't know shit.
Right.
And that's wrong.
And just because they're old, they know everything.
Yeah. But they fucking don't.
Still now.
Yes.
Like, I'm not a fucking kid anymore.
Yes.
Christ.
Yes.
I just turned 35.
Like, it's a cool track. I think I'm giving it to Priest on this one myself.
I'm with you.
Like Sanctuary is really cool.
But I also, it's almost not fair.
It's almost not fair. And Sanctuary is another one that it was played a lot more up until about like 83. And then once they started getting all those Number of the Beast and Peace of Mind hits, it's another one that kind of took a back seat with like Strange World and Remember Tomorrow and stuff like that. Running Free, that's one that they played a lot early on. You'll still get Running Free on current day sets every now and then. That one made it all the way through the catalog. But anyways, yeah, I think I got to give it to Priest on this one. You don't got to be old to be wise.
I'm with you.
That if my pen works, there we go. Cool. All right, and then we got Charlotte the Harlot versus The Rage, and I got to remind myself again of the Rage riff because I'm not being a dick, but like the songs just kind of on Priest's album are very similar and I just got to hear the opening riff and I'll remember it. Oh yeah. Dude. Yeah. Kind of forgot about that one. Charlotte the Harlot. It's
I have a lot of notes on this one.
Yeah. It's one that Definitely worth that. Charlotte the Heart is part of a three-piece song trilogy. This is the first, obviously. 22 Acacia Avenue on Number of the Beast Part 2, and From Here to Eternity is Part 3 on Fear of the Dark in 93. Charlotte the Harlot, a song about a hooker who has just got it all and possibly kills people. Seems like they fell in love, but she's a hooker, so you can't fall in love with a hooker.
Can't kiss him on the mouth either.
Can't kiss him on the mouth. Sure, I've always been a fan of this song since I was a child. I've always liked Charlotte the Harlot. Charlotte the Harlot, show me your leg. Charlotte the Harlot, take me to bed. Charlotte the Harlot, da 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 da. Charlotte the Harlot, da 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 da. Just like it. It's just it's a very upbeat-ish song, but like kind of it's got that punk influence in it too. Again, like that kind of shows up again here, and yeah, it's a good one. I'm a fan of Charlotte the Harlot.
I am too, because I have a lot of notes. Like I said, we picked the tempo way the fuck up. There's a single bass note Steve Harris hits right before the vocals kick in. I don't know, it just kind of grabbed me. Overall, again, excellent fucking rhythm section. They take over. Paul with a few great vocal transitions. Again, Sebastian Bach. And here I kind of get a Paul Rogers from Bad Company vibe in his vocals.
Yeah.
Who is a criminally underrated fucking vocalist.
Yeah, Paul, he's
amazing.
Really,
I mean, there's a reason why Queen originally, when they started to try to kind of do something, they got him. To make your ends, what is it? To make your ends a bloody whore. That line, is one of the coolest fucking lines in metal history. That fucking stood out. And not just because he said whore, it's just cool. Drums come and guitars come in like fucking machine guns, and this track fucking rips.
It does. So, and here's something as we get towards the end of the album. Each Iron Maiden song is a story.
Mm-hmm.
And each Priest song is kind of just like, it's gimmicky.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean it in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
That's
nothing wrong with gimmicks.
That's fine. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we have no problem with gimmicks. Especially in 1980. I mean, that's what people were listening to, man. That's what they wanted to hear. And it's a great Priest record. Anyways, yeah, story versus kind of just like a theme. It's a story versus a theme of each song's a theme with Priest. Each song's a story with Maiden. They kind of tell, this is Charlotte the Harlot, the Phantom of the Opera. Transylvania is a story told only on instruments. Prowler, it's a story. Remember Tomorrow, kind of theme-ish / story, Running Free, it's a fucking story. Iron Maiden is a story, and we'll get to that. But whatever. Anyways, theme. Rapid Fire, Metal Gods, Living After Midnight, Breaking the Law. It's different.
They were trying to be commercial.
They were yes. That's the best way it can be put. They are going for
commercial,
something that grabs people's attention, and that's good because
we need to start selling fucking records and making money.
Yeah, because
it can't always be about art.
Pre-British Steel, it's Hellbent for Leather.
Hellbent
for Leather.
BD, which is also kind of almost that Hellbent for Leather and Breaking the Law almost seem like they could be a two-parter.
Yes, it definitely does. But so Hellbent for Leather, what else? Is there anything super big before that?
Screaming for Vengeance is after.
It's like the album
because that's
after,
with You've Got Another Thing Coming.
Screaming for Vengeance rivals Number of the Beast. Actually, I think it's 82 and 82,
which would be another good one to continue this.
That would be a good one.
Mine for The Rage, very funky, almost reggae intro. Halford fucking wails on this one. Definitely takes over the song. Song almost does a complete 180 by KK's solo. Very dark, then back to the that reggae chord progression they kind of have in there. Cool bass line, drums, while basic, fill the song out nicely. Heavy outro with a killer solo from KK at the end.
You kind of reminded me of some of the things I forgot about the song.
It's a tough one. I mean, it's not super tough, but I mean, I'm going Charlotte the Harlot, but
yeah, I am too. And
but The Rage is pretty cool, actually.
The Rage is a cool song, man.
Had it swapped somewhere else, it could have won.
Yeah, and because one of my notes on the rate, like my two notes are literally, and I was kind of just skimming through. This is the morning right before we were gonna do it. I wanted to re-listen to these tracks and make notes. Was the rage is like it's a cool riff, great solos, KK fucking rips, that kind of thing is on there.
Shreds.
And then my main thing is things run together by the end of this album.
Yeah.
It doesn't, a lot of these songs don't differentiate. But again, this is their 5th studio album. This Maiden's first. So you kind of have that to consider as well. It's like Maiden's coming out just full force, like we need to get recognized. And this is Priest is like, okay, we're doing good, but let's take it to the next level.
Beast from the East is the live record.
Yeah, Beast from the East. Okay, yeah. So anyways,
which is right before this, which so yeah, Charlotte takes that one.
Yeah, Charlotte takes the dub.
Did you mark it already?
I am now. Let's see. Yeah, okay. And then to end it,
can you play a smidge of Iron Maiden, the song?
Yeah,
because this is the last one I listened to.
So I just want to make this is a riff, man.
This and I just want to make sure I have the proper notes.
They always lift up their guitars when they play it live. Dave Murray starts, and then they join in.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
So every live, okay. First of all, it's Iron Maiden versus Steeler. I already have my mind made up, but it's. I feel bad, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, dude. Dave Murray. It's Bruce and Paul. I don't think he introduced it the same way. It's been a while since I watched the Paul Di'Anno concerts. It's so far back, and some of the Bruce stuff is where when the camera moves, the lights tracers. You know, that's just the '80s in general. But Dave Murray lifts up the guitar, and Bruce says, "The Iron Maiden." So this song. Oh, yeah, and when they play it live, it's always "Scream for me," insert city name, "Scream for me, the Iron Maiden." It's the performance, but yeah, where was I at? Iron Maiden's a good song. I'm just the guitar, the riff is very like it's like I want to say it's like a technical sounding riff, you know, because there's a lot of like hammer on and pulling off going at once. And then the drums come in, and then the next chord, and Steve Harris is just throttling along on bass, dude. And yeah, I always hear the backing vocals when I listen to it close enough to my ears. It's like, oh, well, wherever we are, Iron Maiden, gonna get you no matter how far. Like you can always hear those backing vocals from the studio track.
It's very punky.
Very punky, yeah, because it's not harmonized vocals. It's just a backing vocal. That's there.
Just like teenage angst kind of just yelling in the background.
The fucking Iron Maiden, man.
Yeah, I have Shredfest Heavy, great track. How many bands have a song named after them?
Yeah, because how many? You know, you can't. It's like Metallica's not gonna have a song called Metallica,
right?
Rat could have a song called Rat, but it'd be weird if it had 2 T's, you know? I don't know.
I always thought they should have, because their thing is always Rat and Roll.
Yeah.
So if they would have had a song called Rat and Roll, that would have been kind of cool.
That would have been cool. Yeah. So you can do it, but Iron Maiden is, you know, it's like the stretching torture device or whatever.
What do you have for Steeler?
Lyrics.
I've got a note on this one, actually, quite a bit.
I have a note. I thought you were going to say that, but lyrics seem like something's coming for you. I don't remember Steeler that much, man. I just don't.
I have drums and Halford stand out. KK with a very melodic metal solo. Drums really kicking this one. Maybe. Here's an interesting note for you. Maybe the most Maiden sounding track.
Okay, let me play a piece of this because
which could help or hurt, especially to close the record. Excellent outro, really picks up at the end. They went all out musically on this track.
Yeah, they did. Okay, I'm remembering. Oh yeah, da 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 da, ba, da da. Okay, So yeah, Steeler. Okay, I remember it now. Yeah, very like just it is Maiden sounding.
Hmm.
So here's part of the reason why like I felt confident going into it. I've heard this first Iron Maiden album so many times. I've listened to it ever since I found Iron Maiden when I was like 10. This Priest album, man, I've listened to British Steel maybe once or twice, and it was a long time ago. I haven't listened to this album in full in a long time. And like I said, I'll say it again, I'm going to listen to the Priest catalog, like following this. I want to educate myself more on this catalog, but Steeler's a cool song,
Hmm.
and I do now remember it. I felt like I heard it in a different order, but it is still just the last song on the proper record, not
Yeah.
Red, White, and Blue and all that. I think I overlooked it because it's at the end, because I was kind of, I had heard all these riffs that some of them that kind of run together.
You started to
same
check out a
riffs.
little bit. You're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah, but I definitely, I turned it on, and that fast. I was like, hey, it's a little faster than some of these mid-album songs. Kind of get you on your feet and get your head moving, making you kind of want to run around in the pit a little bit. Where Maiden isn't this, it doesn't feel that fast, but when you hear the drums, it is about, similar tempos. So just two different ways to present the tempo. One is like thrashy, one is just like that kind of like punkish beat to it. And I go to the drums because the drums can change. You could put a different set of drums on each of these and it would totally change the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
You go halftime on Steeler, it'd be like, and then Maiden, it just depends how you present it. But yeah, I don't know.
So you're going Maiden?
Man, I have to. I can't. Steeler's cool. British Steel's cool, the whole album, but this Maiden album, man, is just, for me, it's a special place in my heart.
I'm gonna give the track to Priest.
Okay.
And not that I don't like Iron Maiden, but like I said, it was kind of the last one that
Same thing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were done. You're checked out.
Yeah. And not necessarily. I mean, I dig both bands. So but I don't know, something about Steeler. It's just cool.
It's good, man.
But like I said, it almost sounds like an Iron Maiden song. So that kind of hurts it too.
I marked Steeler. I guess I picked Steeler.
Well, no, I mean, we haven't disagreed on anything yet. So yeah, I'm going to disagree with you here respectfully.
Okay. Yeah.
But Maiden still wins overall.
But I did genuinely mark Steeler. I don't know why. I just
because we were talking about it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. So Maiden wins. It moves on.
Iron Maiden, the song is iconic. This album is iconic. The artwork's iconic. British Steel's artwork is iconic. The fucking razor blade.
Yeah. Super cool.
Yeah. You're frozen up right now. Oh, no, you're good now. Okay. I could hear you, but you were frozen.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah. So Maiden advances. We got 5-4. Right? 5-4. Is it nine tracks? Yeah. Mm-hmm. 5-4. So it was a hard fought battle for Priest, man. Yeah. And there were some moments there where, I mean,
now 5-4 for me. You have 6-3 on your end.
Yeah,
but either way, Maiden. So
yes. So 6-3 for me, 5-4 for you. Some good rivals, man. Rapid Fire and Remember Tomorrow. If it wasn't for the pace and the way that Remember Tomorrow is set up and arranged, I think Rapid Fire would have took that. But it's just that chorus, man. That lead into the chorus, I love. Who else? Let's see. Priest, Living After Midnight. That just has to win. It's iconic. The Rage against Charlotte the Harlot, maybe in a different setting. I'm like, I like this song better. Different maybe it's track order based on my mood. Yeah. Maybe it's just, I don't know. So Maiden advances to the quarterfinals or whatever.
Because I think it was fun. I
like doing this better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch alongs are cool.
Different. Yeah. Maybe we'll do like watch. Okay. So from now on, Patreon exclusive, we do these, unless everybody's just like, shut the fuck up, we don't want to hear about music.
Yeah.
Levi
says cool and good too much.
I'm gonna do, since they are the same number of songs, just to give it away, I'm pinning my favorite band, Kiss.
Kiss.
Destroyer versus Kiss, Creatures of the Night.
Ooh. I like that.
So it's hits.
Wait to do this one.
It's hits with Destroyer.
Yeah.
Versus
heavy
Creatures of the Night. So it's tough.
Like and one of my favorite Kiss album covers is Creatures of the Night.
And Destroyer's
color
cool
scheme.
Too.
Yeah, Destroyer's awesome, but Creatures of the Night, I like that blue color scheme.
Yeah.
They're just kind of on it, you know.
And with it being the 40th anniversary of Creatures, I kind of want to. I want 82? More. Yep. I want more people to kind of see that side. If you listen to these, then you can go back and listen to those records and make your own decisions.
How many years away from no makeup are we with Creatures?
Creatures is the last one. 82, then 83. It's Lick It Up.
Okay. That's right. Lick It Up as the makeup goes.
Yep. Yeah. Because then you got Lick It Up, 83, Animalize, 84, Asylum, 85.
Animalize is on my shelf right there.
Yep. I see it.
Yeah. You can kind
of weird cover.
There it is. Yeah. Right there.
And you know what that cover actually is? It's pieces of each one of their costumes laid out.
Oh, really?
From that tour, yeah. The leopard, the zebra.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it's just a piece of fabric from each one of them. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Simple.
Like all right. That.